Hello ladies, wardrobe culling again, and today I'm talking about jewellery, which is something many of you have asked me to talk about. And I have over the years worn so much jewellery, and I made quite a large collection. But in the last few years I literally wear these bracelets, and you asked me a lot about these bracelets, so I'm just going to start with the bracelets. I have one that's being fixed, which is a very pretty little diamond kind of star on a gold chain, and that's from Anina Vogel. And then I have this, which has Lila's name on it. It says Lila and the date of her birth. And these were given to my mother by all of us, so she would have her 6 grandchildren on her arm and remember their dates of birth. But then my mother's wrist got too big, and so we all took back our children. And then I have things that mean a lot to me. So I have, you know, these ones like this. I can't remember the last name, but I have one from my office when we celebrated a year of TRINNY London. I have one from my stepson, and I have one from Esrim, a little feather bangle here, and I have something from Lila, and I have the string from Lila. So I have every person who means a lot to me in my life always on my wrist, and they stay there. So those kind of are permanent. And then I do have a lot of big rings. These are all leg and brain rings, and they only just fit. My hands are quite big at the moment. I think they're a little bit swollen, too much sugar. But that's a Katie Brain leg and brain ring. This is a ring that many of you have seen, which is it's very heavy. Funnily enough, I can hardly get it on either. God, but I will keep it because these are things I'll definitely keep. And then I have other ones, which that's a silver ring. You can see how dirty it is, and I want to make a little separate pile for things I need to clean. So I'm going to put that over there. Here's another Katie Brain ring. So there's lots of them. This one's a bit small for me, but Lila will wear them, and all of these are actually Katie Brain different rings. There's a lovely yellow one like that, you see, too small, but I could wear it on that finger. And sometimes I'll wear a very plain cocktail dress, and then I'll put that ring on, and it's the only jewelry I need. So those are all staying. I use these Muji little perspex boxes, and they're really great. You can either have them lying like that or upright, but I have these in my bedroom. And then down here I've got a few mixture of random things which I need to sort out. I'll put rings in there. I've got quite a few long necklaces. How many of you have this, that kind of tangle in your wardrobe? And there was a time when I would hang all my necklaces up, and I want to get into that habit again, so I'm going to get some nails and do that right by where I keep all my jewelry, because it is a way of not tangling your things, and having a nice cubby hole or inside the cupboard of your wardrobe works really well. So I'm going to put that in to be hung. Here's some more of the rings, just put them there. I've got a few odds and sods, you know, things you inherit from your parents. So I have this really old Gucci watch, which is kind of fab, and I have never worn, but it was my mother's. And it might be that I decide one day that's kind of cool and I'll wear it. But as you can see, it's silver, really dirty, needs a good clean. Little brooches. People give me brooches, and I'm not a brooch person, but I do feel I want to have a collection of them for Lila, because I think we go through fads in jewelry, and brooches can be somewhat cool. A little bracelet that I got in a moment Zara, and I don't really need that bracelet. I'm just going to start to chuck. These are some pearls that I got from Zara, and I thought they would be so great on an outfit if I want to do that real Chanel pearly moment. But they're quite full on, and I think they look a little bit cheap, so I'm going to get rid of those. This is a little ring that Lila made me, so I kind of have to keep it. So I'm going to do a sentimental pile. Don't know how many will keep in that. This is another pair of earrings. They're great, these earrings, actually. They are by a jeweler called Jean, and he is a very expensive jeweler. I could never afford his normal jewelry, but he did this diffusion range, and this is one of them, and it's he wanted to emulate a petal, and I think they're quite beautiful, and sometimes when I wear something plum, they could be good. And he did also these gold leaves, which I wear in the summer a lot with a white dress, and they pop, and then I might do a gold ring, and that's all I'd wear. So I'm going to keep those. So I had all these drawers, and they were very well ordered a few years ago when I was moving house, and now I've just chucked everything in. But I want to go through all of them and see what's in there. And one of the first ones I'm going to pick out is I used to collect things by designer, and there is a wonderful jewelry designer called Liat Ginsberg, and she is from Israel, and she does all these kind of plastic and perspex bits. and it doesn't look good on this. Let me just show you against white. But these kind of things I will keep because I will suddenly get inspired and wear them. Something that clean can look amazing just on a piece of white and just be a statement. And even though it's plastic and mad, the colors are beautiful. And then I might do it on an orange dress. So this I love and I'll be keeping. Equally, whilst I keep on my bib, she did some perspex, and she has different little chains that go on each one. So this one will have a chain I can find, but I love perspex on white. It's very sharp, it's very modern, and I want to start wearing them again, just looking in the mirror, because it just adds something to an incredibly simple dress. So if you ever find perspex or white jewellery, I think it's fabulous. So I'm going to be keeping that, but I've got to find the little chain that goes with. And then she did a bracelet like that, which is kind of cool, painful for other people if I'm wearing it, but things like this. I'm really happy to find all these things again because I would love to wear that, but it's got to be worn with something again white and or black, but just so that it has nothing that it's fighting against, because even though it's very architectural, it's also quite delicate in colour, in see-throughness. So I'll be keeping that. This is another, I really got into that mode, didn't I? This is another one with all the white, and I think that's kind of fab, and I should still, I mean, even could I wear it with the gold? I could, but it's fighting a little bit. I think I'd want it against something clean. So that I'll be keeping. And there's that. So this does need fixing because I'm noticing some bits have come off it. And there's nothing worse than picking up something which maybe it's been hung badly, but it's, can you see they're not all there? This one belongs on the end. So that's going to go to my fixing section. This is a necklace many of you will remember. Again, I wore it with white, and I'd look out for pieces every year in H&M because they do have the best big bits of jewellery. And you've all commented on this necklace over the years. It's very heavy, but I loved wearing it, and I maybe want to wear it again. And I have one in orange as well. It was terrible for the sound man, but great again to put over a very clean, plain white dress. So these are sort of summer fab necklaces. I went through a phase of Prada had some really fun costume jewellery, and they don't do it so often now. They do just key rings and things, but they did these little bits, and I wore them, let me just show you, over plain jumpers. This is a brown and white one. It just sat on the top of my jumper, and it just gave a framing to a jumper, and I like things that are made on fabric. So I don't feel I want to get rid of these because I think there is a place for them. And I'm just going through quite a long phase right now where I haven't been wearing jewellery, but maybe this reintroduction to my pieces and having them so that I can see them is going to really help me. Was something nice, a little bit tatty. I don't think I need it. I'm going to get rid of it. This is like memory lane. How much of jewellery is just memory lane? I was in Denmark and I was making a show, and I saw this fishbowl necklace on somebody, and I thought that's so fab, and so I bought it off her in the street for 50 euros. And then I wear it with a few different necklaces as well. I don't just wear one on their own. I love to layer necklaces. So when I wear it, I probably wear it with, I might even wear it with a row of pearls, which I've got somewhere. You see, this is what kills me. You know, you're getting ready in a hurry and you think, ah! So this is what I need to hang up. We'll be hanging up later for sure, because there's nothing like pearls on little chains that you can't undo. So I think I would have done that with that, and then I would have maybe even put a little gold necklace on the bottom, or even this old, I have these really old necklaces from Chanel that I've had for about 20, 30 years, and I probably bought in the 80s. So I will keep them. They're very valuable now in terms of costume jewelry. And you know, I love the idea of a whole load of stuff with my white cape and my round white Chloe top. That's my look for this one. So these need to be all hung well. So I'm going to put those back there for hanging, and I'm going to also take that one. This is an old Chanel one which kept breaking, and it kept breaking because I was hanging it badly. So I want to be hanging that necklace. Ericsson Beeman is a brand that I really got into. It was a shop in Elizabeth Street and I used to buy so many of their necklaces. And this, for example, which is such a beautiful piece, I never wear because it's in a plastic bag. So I want to get that out and be hanging it and just wear it with some beautiful purple item. This is probably an inexpensive little piece. This I can get rid of. Nice. Works well. You can put everything on and it will look fine, but how many necks and how many days have I got? So that's going to go. I went through a phase as well of Bottega Veneta. I remember, I love this. Those of you who watched What Not to Wear might remember that I wore these. And this actually, if I remember correctly, was a belt. And I wore it as a necklace, but I just loved it. And I don't know if I wore it as a belt now. It might just be cooler as a belt. Yes. So, okay, I'm going to keep that and I'm going to have it out. Nice bracelet, but not really my colour, and I don't think I'm going to wear it, so I'm going to get rid of that. So freeing. So freeing! Even if I got rid of 5 pieces, so freeing. This is a necklace of my mother's, and I loved this when I was growing up, and my mother used to wear it, and it was my favourite necklace of hers. And it felt so big at the time, but I think now if I wore it, I'd layer it to make it more interesting. So we'll do at the end of this some layering of different necklaces, but right now I'm going to hang it up because I want to give it a life. I want to give it life back. Little locket. I don't think I'm a locket girl. This is not one of any particular value. Oh, hang on. I say that and then I've actually seen there's some gold marks in it. So it is. Must be something from my family. And I don't know, maybe it's the other side is a, oh, look. Okay, I have to think about what I'm going to do with that. That's like undecided yet. This is a really pretty long necklace. Didn't even remember I had it. And I was looking for something like this to take to India. And it's little semi-precious stones. Gorgeous. And I'm going to wear that now, but I'm going to wear that layered with a few things. So I'm going to put that to be hung. A little bit of fabric. How many of us have random things? I'm not into dressmaking. I'm not going to suddenly find an attachment to it. It's going. I love this necklace. I love that tiny, it's amazing how that this tiny bit of yellow just brought life when I wore it with a sort of white pearl together. Just that yellow and the white I love together, especially on white. But yellow is an amazing thing to wear with pearls, and it just makes it look quite cool. And that hint of yellow. So I'm going to keep that because then I'll remember I've got it. This, what do I do with this? I feel Lila will like it one day. This is a Mad Ball. I think it's also Ericsson Beeman. Will that fashion come back in? For sure. Will Lila kind of think, my God, Mummy, I'm so glad you had that. She definitely will. Will I still be wearing it at some stage? I might. It's been hidden away so much that I've never even seen it to be inspired by it. So I'm going to put that back there. Every necklace has a story. On when I first started going out with my my daughter's father, we went to Venice and there was a shop that had all of these 1920s inspired things and I loved them. And so I'm going to keep that in a way as a memory for Lila. And one day, you know, when I'm 70 and I wear long, elegant necklaces, might be a look. I don't know. I keep saying that and it never happens. Oh my God, there's an earring I've lost for years of my grandmother's. Look at that really pretty earring. I'm going to put it in my ear in case I find the other one. But it is things like this, ladies. You know, how often do you go through your jewellery drawer and find things? It's a really sweet little earring. And I never wear earrings, but it's rather cute. I might get into that again. This is a old 1950s necklace, and I remember buying it. I was somewhere and I had to go to an event and I had to go and buy a dress and a necklace, and I was abroad and I spent a fortune on it. And I feel it's very, reminds me of my grandmother, and I don't particularly want to wear it. And I just don't know if I'll ever get into it, but it sits incredibly beautifully. And if I wore it and layered it with things, could I change how that looks as a necklace? So we're going to revisit that with some layered pieces and try and find the same colour, silvery gold, because it's an interesting shade. How many of you have seen this? One of my most cherished and loved necklaces. I'm not going to get rid of it. From H&M, and I wear it in the summer all the time. Love it. I went through a time of loving chokers. This is another Ericsson Beeman one, and I used to wear this with a sort of top that went with it. Just don't know, there's something interesting about it. Quite like the idea of wearing a necklace slightly inside a shirt. You know, there's something sort of slightly cool about that. So should we consider wearing chokers inside of shirts that are done up? Do we like that as an idea? Just something different. I love the colours together, and I think when you're looking at necklaces, going tonal can be really beautiful as well as true contrasting. So I might just keep that and play with it. I need room and time to play and create. This I wore forever, and I've got to let go of it now because it's breaking apart, but it was well loved. I kiss you goodbye because you brought me so much joy, but there's a few strands missing and it's not working. Okay, what else have we got here? Something which is absolutely rubbish. There's the Indian and stuff. This is a random epaulette from something. It's actually from Prada, and it's a brooch. And it might go on that. Where was my Prada necklace? Maybe it can go onto the Prada necklace. I'll keep that for now. I've got rid of quite a lot. Okay. All right, let's go on to the next big drawer. Jesus Christ. I'm going to soon become repeating myself. As soon as I find Indian things, I'm going to put them on the drawer below. Indian earrings, great fancy dress, putting in here. It's going to be my Indian drawer. I'm going to get that. Actually, that's my Indian drawer. Then I saw something else down here, a bindi thing. That's my Indian drawer. Here is another little Indian earring. They're just fun, and I wear them in the summer. These I loved. I don't know if I have them all in one piece. These are really old Saint Laurent earrings from the 70s, but I just think they're fab colors, and this is what I want to get back into wearing, earrings like this. These earrings I love, if I can find the other one. I think that for me, when I wear my hair up now, I used to wear my hair up and had that very severe look, but if I wear it up now, I feel I need that big earring to soften that side of my face. So I do think they have a place in the wardrobe. It brings back also so many memories. Like, I'm just picking this up, and this was given to me by Lila's father, and I was just feeling a bit sad, and he gave me this necklace, and it said remember to be, and then the other bit said happy, and I just would never get rid of that. Actually, he did have an art of making the most out of things. This is another hanging necklace from Liat Gisberg that you can wear this way around. I kind of like, and you can wear it that way around too. So I'm going to keep that in the Liat drawer. This is a Miu Miu piece. It's a collar again, and I kind of feel there'll be a room for it in Lila's wardrobe or mine, and the fact it's Miu Miu and kind of cool. I'm going to keep that. Liat's going to go there. So I've now got on to a few more Liat Gisberg earrings. These are kind of yellow, and I sort of just loved the bright yellowness of them, and I think they'll be funky and cool in the summer. I've just got to find out what I'll wear them with, so I am going to keep them. Singular earrings. How many of us lose earrings and just find single ones? So I'm just going to put my single earrings here. These I loved, but they've now died, so I'm going to get rid of them. When I got married, I wore this one, and I was really into my choker, and I will keep it for that reason, because I loved it, and it just seems now something that isn't very special, but for me it was so special, and I wore it with a velvet jacket, which I still have, and I just have that around my neck. So that's kind of called the sentimental cupboard. We're going to have a sentimental drawer, actually. Sentimental drawer, big necklaces that are too heavy to hang, like that. That one. These are going back in. I don't know why they're going back in, but I'm not ready to get rid of them because I got rid of so much. I'm thinking about it. This I love. You've all seen me wear this in the summer, and it's just so cool, and I love it with a velvet ribbon, so I keep it that. So those are my heavy ones. Going in there. Okay, we are nearly 3/4 the way through. Collars. I went through a stage where I bought all these collars. This one is from Prada, and I love the idea of these collars, and now there's many collar necklaces. But I still think it's quite cool, and I might actually try and style it up. This is another collar from Miu Miu. I think it's cool, this collar. I'm going to keep this collar. That I'm going to get rid of. That I loved, but it's time to go because it's kind of jewelry. And I am going to have a drawer for collar necklaces because I think they're cool. These are bags. I really thought one day I'm really into that Victorian era, beautiful little bag. And I feel Lila will be. This was the most cherished thing, Jamais Poesh. And I loved it so much. No, this is Samantha Esker, who copied Jamais Poesh, I'm sure. But I just love them. Okay, I'm going to keep the Lila. This was a lovely bag I adored. Little metal bag. What do you think?
I love that.
I know. It's divine. And Lila will love it at one stage. Is it a Lila saving moment? Bracelets are here. These are all my Indian bracelets. I'm just going to keep them for Lila. That I don't need. I think that was the Christmas tree decoration that's got mixed up in it. You know, how many of you have this kind of stuff? You go, am I going to wear it again? But I could sell it. So I got rid of 2. That's really pretty good. And then these, I think I got rid of most of these. You can feel where I'm getting to in this, can't you? Empty. So these could be for my knickers now or other things. That's great. Now, parrot necklace. How many of you know my parrot necklace? I love my parrot necklace. These are kind of classics, which, like, you know, you want to tell a story by what you're wearing. That's how to tell a story. And Scarlett McCall, which is the program that we use to help us to do the Match to Me on TRINNY London, was inspired by a day I walked in wearing this necklace. So I love it, and I will wear it actually. I'm going to put that in my empty one here. This I wore so much, and I loved it, and I just wore it endlessly. I think I'll save it for Lila because I got so much happiness in that, and when her father and I were courting, I remember wearing that a lot. So I just feel there's certain things you want to tell a story with your children and leave them for them. You sometimes buy something because the colour is fantastic. It might be a really cheap earring, but like that is that cornflower blue colour I love. And if you're feeling sort of tired and you've got a dress on and you put that colour near your face, it changes everything. So sometimes I use earrings just for that reason. I think if you can put your earrings by colour, if you collect a lot of earrings, it's quite a good way of looking at things. These were some earrings I got years and years ago from Marnie, and again, they're a really big earring, and I can just wear them with something very plain, but I kind of love the madness of them, the fact that they're fabric and stone combined. Okay, so these, I love these earrings. And I will wear these earrings again. They're just a very beautiful drop earring for a black Audrey Hepburn type dress. These are silver, and I love these. I wear them with quite a few different things in the summer. I'm just going to put these as odds and sods. Those are pretty, but do you see that's gone, so, and that's gone, so I've just got to get rid of them and say goodbye now. These are actually real. They need a good clean. Rough Indian diamonds, so those need to go there. This is the kind of jewellery that we can hold on to a long time. Like, I remember this is the first bracelet I wore from my grandmother. So this is my real jewellery, which is just hovering in a hidden bit. Whereas that, with it, I don't really care for. I'm going to get rid of that. So next up, I'm just going to make some holes in the walls and just do sets of 3 and start with my longest at the top, my shortest at the bottom. And just so I can hang them. Use it on a wall where you don't mind making mistakes. I take nails usually that long, and I don't put them in a huge amount because I need room to rest. Try and get them in a straight line, which I haven't quite got. I need room for the necklaces to hang off, so I put them in enough that they're going to stay in. I'm going to take these ones that I hardly ever see that I've got, and then the pearl ones are going to hang together. So nice now, they won't get tangled. It's such a relief. Many of you might do this anyway, because I used to do this years ago. But just doing this again makes me feel order. Order! And 4 other ones. Just thin ones that will hang. So I can just see they start at a different place. It's just that grading. It's like you're grading a waterfall cascade of jewellery. Great. All my favourite necklaces hanging beautifully. It's quite good just to hang as you go what you really love, and then the things that don't seem so important fade away, and then you think, like, do I want to hold on to these ones? I don't know. I'll keep them for a little bit longer, and then I'm going to see. These ones which I'm not so sure I want to keep or do things with, I'm just going to put here. If they're hanging there still in a year, ladies, and I haven't worn them, I'm just going to actually put them in next year's Cull. But they've got an opportunity now. So I feel I've got rid of 4 drawers of old jewellery, which is really satisfying. I've got my pile of getting fixed and selling. The pile of getting rid of, I've already got rid of. And then over here, I feel I've got my jewellery corner really organised. The necklaces that I wear hanging, a few I don't wear so often further down, but at least they're out and I can see them. But now my earrings are in a bit of order. I've still probably got way too many, but jewellery is the hardest thing I find to cull.